Greetings, everybody, from Bridgetown in Barbados. It is the Concacaf second round of World Cup qualifying in Group C on the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. St. Lucia takes on Aruba today in 87-degree weather, 25-mile-per-hour winds, and we are hoping that the precipitation holds off for us in Group C today. Massive game for both of these two teams. It's the second match day for either side. A win for either team keeps them within striking distance of the top two spots, which would progress on to the final round of World Cup qualifying. Curacao and Haiti currently occupy those two places. A win for either of these two nations, however, would keep them in with a chance. Any other result, and it would be a very much an uphill climb the rest of the group stage here in CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. Narrow defeats for both teams on match day one. St. Lucia with a 2-1 defeat against Haiti in a game where they had the lead in the 18th minute. And it was a wonderful goal from Kinesia Elva to give them the lead. However, wonderful recovery from Haiti to come back and get the 3 points. For Aruba, they gave Curacao a heck of a battle. However, Curacao were very clinical in the end. A 2-0 win that sees Aruba in desperate need of points as well today. For both of these two teams, they've had really strong international windows as of late, particularly in the CONCACAF Nations League that saw Aruba get promoted to League B with 4 wins out of 4 in the 2023-2024 campaign. St. Lucia did pretty darn well as well in League B, 3 wins, 1 draw and just 2 defeats. However, they will be staying in League B when the next Nations League campaign convenes, and we're obviously excited for that. But time is of the essence for both of these two countries today. It is their last World Cup qualifier of the window, and it could give whoever wins this match quite a bit of momentum. Of course, if you're from Curacao or in the Haiti contingent, you're hoping for a draw, because that would obviously help the two teams at the top continue to build onto their lead when all of this reconvenes in 2025. A win again would keep whoever gets the win, I should say, in with a real chance of still having an opportunity to qualify. You're within 3 points. There's still plenty of games to go. And of course, St. Lucia and Aruba will still get their chances at rematches against Curacao and Haiti, and we'll have to play those opposite teams as well. So a victory really could go a long way today. That's why this one has a lot riding on it, and we're excited to see how all of this plays out. We'll step aside for now. We'll meet the teams in just a moment, and we'll also get to the national anthems and the kickoff between St. Lucia and Aruba in Bridgetown, Barbados.
national anthem of St. Lucia, followed by Aruba. We will now have the lineup of we now have the lineup for St. Lucia. In bars, number 1, goalkeeper Vinny.
A great rendition of both countries' national anthems here from Bridgetown, Barbados, the Willie AstroTurf Stadium. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. It's a Group C encounter, round 2 of Concacaf World Cup qualifying on the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. These two countries have met in CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers past, and this one has quite a bit riding on it, with these two teams trying to keep pace with the likes of Curacao and Haiti, who are currently the two leaders in the group. And remember, only the top 2 teams, when it's all said and done, will progress to the final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. Stern John is the head coach for St. Lucia. This is the 11 that he brings out there with him. And look up top immediately with Kanisha Elva, who scored on match day 1. They're going to need more from him today. The back line, led by Kirk Frederick and Terrell Thomas, will also be very important. Lester Joseph and Shaquan Nelson, 2 of the key cogs in the midfield.
Referee Selvin Brown.
Selvin Brown of Honduras is our head official. It's a Honduran and Nicaraguan officiating crew in Barbados this afternoon. Terrell Thomas, who captained St. Lucia, exchanges pleasantries with the Aruba captain, Fernando Lewis. On Aruba's side, that are still looking for their first goal in this group stage, and of course would love nothing more than to couple that by getting 3 important points on the board today. And Marvik Bermudez is their head coach. This is the 11. It's a 4-4-2 setup. And of course, right away, you look up top with Groothuizen, who's going to be a critical cog as far as scoring goals is concerned. Kaimani Ned and Tyrone Paragentil, some of the other notables in the attack from the midfield. And of course, up top, Isai Marcelia, also a notable there as well, with Matthew Lentink getting the start between the posts. Now, something does have to give between these two. They most recently met back in 2019 in a CONCACAF Nations League qualifier, one that St. Lucia was able to pull out by 3-2. And before that, they met in 2011 twice in a 4-day span in July, between July 8th and the 12th for the 2014 World Cup qualifiers on the way to Brazil. At the time, both games in 2011 finished by a 4-2 scoreline. Aruba won the first one. 4 days later, St. Lucia responded with a 4-2 win of their own. So St. Lucia's won 2 of the past 3 meetings. We'll see who takes this one today in Barbados. And it is St. Lucia in their blues who get us started going from left to right. Aruba are in their yellows with the light blue shoulders and numerals. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, thrilled to have you with us to kick off another jam-packed day of action at the Concacaf World Cup qualifiers. Going to be games from this early afternoon all the way until the end of the day. So we're excited to see how all of that is going to play out. Looks like it's going to be 5 games in total today, and we're thrilled to see how they're all really are going to turn out. But this one in particular has quite a bit riding on it if these two teams are going to hang around for a chance to move on to the final round of World Cup qualifying. Well, is sent up ahead towards the aforementioned Elva, who really did well on match day 1 in this group, despite a loss to Haiti. Got on the score sheet and certainly looked a threat for St. Lucia, no question about that. Near side, Isai Salia was trying to keep the ball in play. It's going to be an Aruba throw on the near side. Kaimani Ned is on the scene. Got some good distance on the throw, but St. Lucia able to keep it at this end only for a moment before it's cleared out of play, and today's de facto hosts have a throw on the near side. Of course, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Both of these countries never made it to a World Cup. They've never made it to a Gold Cup either. Aruba, on top of that, have never been in a Caribbean Cup either. So both teams really looking to, in some ways with this campaign, make some history and stay in it for as long as they possibly can. And that's what's been so great about the Concacaf Nations League, giving teams and countries a chance to really shine. And these two countries in particular have been ones that have taken full advantage of that. Talked about that earlier. Aruba, 4 wins out of 4 to get promoted to League B in the last Nations League campaign. And St. Lucia, not too bad either. 3 wins, a draw, just 2 defeats. Not enough for promotion, but they stay in League B, and they will be a threat in League B when the Nations League rolls back around. Just what makes these CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers that much more enticing. Aruba tried to play through here out of the back. It's given away. It's a chance for St. Lucia to play their way through now. Elva is brought down. It is going to be a free kick as Selvin Brown is on the scene, our head official. Well, Knizia Elva is going to be a real handful today for the Aruba defense. If he's on the mark again, St. Lucia will like their chances. Just some players who become the talisman, the focal point in groups, and it feels like a team filled with great leaders. That Knizia Alva is that man, and he's the target on that ball into the middle. But give credit to Matthew Lentink for getting off of his line quickly and getting Aruba back in possession. That could have been a very dangerous moment. Steven Melcher plays it centrally. Marcelia. It's floated out to the far side. Bounced around a bit awkwardly there, and Bartlett, who gets the start for St. Lucia in goal, is able to help get it further upfield. A little poke in behind could see St. Lucia have some numbers here. Up ahead, ball's played in the middle. Nelson looks to follow up. Nelson stays with it, but Aruba get enough men back in the nick of time, and Shaquan Nelson never got a shot away. St. Lucia follow up, and they win a corner. Great pressure there from multiple players, but Aruba do the job defensively in the end. Diedrich Lundens in particular is able to get a critical defensive touch at the expense of a corner here. Che Alexander bends it in. It's a chance to get a header onto that. Joshua Solomon couldn't redirect it. And he's going to be punished for an overzealous follow-up, and it'll be a free kick to Aruba on the near side. And that was one of those sequences where if the ball's played a little bit earlier, who knows, Shaquan Nelson could have been in one-on-one, nearly was in, even after the challenge. Great job by Aruba, not giving up on the play. Brought back more reinforcements just in time. Now then, can Aruba come up with an attack at this end? The answer on this occasion is no. It's shepherded out. It's a goal kick. Alvarez Myers was able to defend things rather well there for St. Lucia. Looks like Marcelli was able to stay onside there for Aruba, allowing the attack to continue. This is Sandro Stahl. Gets it back from Kaimani Ned. Walter Bennett. And Len Lloydens plays it back for a recycle for Lewis. Stahl has time and space. He's going to bend one up to the far side. It's going to drop in behind, but it's well dealt with by Kirk Frederick at the expense of an Aruba throw. You can see in the background there some St. Lucia supporters who have made the trek. Hoping to leave with all smiles and all the points if they can help it. Another good defensive work there from Kirk Frederick, who's been a big-time player for St. Lucia over these last few years. Scoring a wonderful free kick for them in a critical Nations League tie a couple of years ago that helped them get promoted to League B. Now that a chance to cross on the near side, Joshua Solomon is stood up. St. Lucia will settle for a throw. Alexander up ahead. Solomon sees the ball gobbled up. Great defensive challenge by Stahl. He follows up again, and Stahl clears it out of danger. Two very important challenges from Sandro Stahl. Joshua Solomon trying to break his way into the penalty area. Pressure from Aruba leads to a takeaway. Lovely skill down the far side. There's yellow shirts arriving inside the penalty area here. A shot is bent in. Vino Bartlett is well positioned to make the stop. Might be the best passage of play we've seen. The opening 10 minutes from Aruba. Showing you how dangerous they can be when they have the ball in the final third. Certainly capable of creating the chances. Alexander to the near side. Solomon up ahead, dispossessed. And Melcher and company are able to refresh the possession for Aruba. Talked about how these two countries have done in, well, all competitions that they can compete in. St. Lucia's best ever finish, and we talked about their recent success in the Nations League, but they did finish third in the 1991 Caribbean Cup. It's the best tournament run a St. Lucia side has ever had in the country's footballing history. It's what makes games like today, for both of these countries, obviously, but obviously from a St. Lucian point of view here, a victory keeps them in the mix. Does the same thing for Aruba. Everyone will have played 2 games in the group, and no one wants to be 6 points behind. But a win, again, would cut that down to 3, and then anything's possible. And that's why this game is of the highest importance. Again, to be fair, a draw and a loss isn't mathematically fatal, but with the way Curacao and Haiti are playing, and yes, there's a lot of games left, but it would put you firmly behind the 8 ball. Which again just adds to the importance of today's fixture. That goes for pretty much everyone that's playing today. Everyone's trying to keep up with the teams ahead of them, or trying to build on the current advantage they have to be in a more comfortable position. Here comes a bending shot that Bartlett is able to hold. It was a really well-struck attacking move there. Terence Groothuizen thought about taking aim there and obviously put a good bit of pace behind it, but he ends up bending it right into the path of Bartlett. And the goalkeeper didn't have too much trouble with it. Lentink up ahead. It's well controlled by Aruba on this near side. Chance for Ned. Groothuizen tries to cross. It's blocked in the end by Solomon. And Solomon, he's going to win a free kick on the follow-up challenge. Now we've seen him at both ends make an impact. Joshua Solomon for St. Lucia blocks the initial cross, gets onto the ball. And Groothuizen takes him to the ground. And the referee didn't have much of a choice but to give a free kick. Ooh, pressure from Aruba. That's a giveaway. Yellow shirts are flooding in. Groothuizen's gonna think about letting another shot fly. Same result. It's almost a carbon copy, but it was a little bit lower for Vino Bartlett, who parried it and then collected. Again, it had good bend on it, but it bent right down the middle, and Bartlett didn't really have to do too much. It's a little bit more in the corner. Aruba could have been in business, to say the least. Could certainly strike the ball well, Groothuizen, that's for sure. And Aruba's pressure is really giving St. Lucia some trouble here. Ned tried to keep the play alive. Referee brings it back. It's a free kick for the challenge from Lester Joseph. And Aruba will get a set piece in a promising position. You could see Ned was trying to release it. He got the ball away. Joseph followed through. And despite Aruba keeping possession, they didn't gain an advantage from the challenge. So rightly so, the referee gives a free kick. Isai Marsalia looks to be the man to take it. St. Lucia are going to set up 3 in the main wall. As Marsalia's going to bend one, and again, Vino Bartlett reads it perfectly and is able to make the catch. Three promising attacking phases for Aruba, maybe even one more on top of that. To this point, they've certainly given Vino Bartlett something to think about. Can they find the breakthrough? That's the next step. It's a good run down this far side. The run continues. Chance to cross this into the middle. It's played to the top of the 18-yard box. Kaimani Ned and company see it get dispossessed, and St. Lucia are back in possession. It's like Walter Bennett and Kaimani Ned were waiting for it in and around the edge of the penalty area. But St. Lucia recover. Melvin Doxley gets it back, plays for Mount Pleasant Football Academy in Jamaica. Talked about this the other day. They're coached by Theodore Whitmore, who's a Jamaican soccer legend, not just as a player, but of course used to manage the Reggae Boys as well. Plenty of his players represented at these qualifiers, as that one was dangerous. Bent in towards Kinesia Elva. It goes past everybody, and it's going to be a goal kick for Aruba after a promising ball played in to the penalty area. Just one of the many things that Kirk Frederick has at his disposal. Great passer of the ball, very good defender, and one of the St. Lucia leaders amongst this group. St. Lucia's turn to create an opportunity here. Chance to maybe cross or shoot. Terrell Thomas does neither. Aruba have the ball back. Terrell Thomas follows up. Wonderful effort from the captain. St. Lucia have the ball back. They battle their way through to keep possession. Solomon. Nelson. Back into the middle it comes, and there's no one there from St. Lucia to attack it. Oh, that's a great ball up ahead. It's kept in. Chance to cross this into the center. And it's going to be deflected out for a corner. Groothuizen was the one making the run into the middle. I think it was Kaimani Ned who tried to cross it. And it was over Groothuizen's head, and there was nobody from Aruba who was able to get on the end of it. Ned does well initially, then he picks his head up. And Kirk Frederick did know that there was someone behind him in the form of Marsalia. So just concedes the corner, doesn't take any chances. Tyrone Pret-Gentile's ball in is dangerous, and it's headed in! Aruba land the opening goal! Wonderful service from Tyrone Pret-Gentile, and it is planted into the back of the net to give Aruba a 1-0 lead. Now another look, there was multiple free headers available inside the penalty area. It's the head of Walter Bennett that gives Aruba the advantage. There were multiple yellow shirts available inside the penalty area, but it's Bennett who buries it. And Aruba have the lead. How about that? They certainly looked likely at times in this first half, but it comes from a set piece. Something I'm sure Stern John will not be thrilled about. But St. Lucia will have to try and come from behind. How important could that goal be in Aruba's Concacaf World Cup qualifying campaign? It's going to be one of those games. Every goal is going to matter so much and can completely change the picture in the group. Of course, the other big note from that is it's Aruba's first goal of this group stage in World Cup qualifying. Couldn't have picked a better time to get it. And now Vino Bartlett was off of his line, and Aruba tried to catch him napping, but he gets back in time and corrals it for St. Lucia. Well, that would have been an unbelievable finish. But Vino Bartlett is a tough customer. He was able to read it and had time to get back in, field it properly for St. Lucia. Lentink clears. Good skill to keep Aruba in possession, and they have some space to work with. Lewis finds Stahl. Melkor is dribbling into some dangerous moments here for Aruba. In the end, it's Lewis who comes and bails him out. Ultra again back to Lentink. He's able to get it out of trouble for now. Groothuizen is dispossessed. Good recovery by Myers in the midfield, but he gives the ball right back to Aruba. Ball's flared out to the far side, and St. Lucia are able to hold it up enough, and they win it back. Good recovery again, by the way, from Kirk Frederick. Alexander plays it centrally. Can he pick out a pass here? Alexander's going to shoot in the end. I don't think that's what he meant to do. Matthew Lentink says, thank you very much for that. It alleviates the pressure. Melcher out to the far side. That ball is over the top. Flag has stayed down here. Aruba could be in behind looking for a second. But Bartlett comes off of his line and thwarts the opportunity. Marcelia was leaking in behind. That could have been very dangerous for St. Lucia. Looked initially that it was just a hopeful ball over the top. I think it came off of Solomon. Marcelia followed up, but give Vino Bartlett a ton of credit. Head on a swivel. Comes off of his line and gets it absolutely spot on. Referee brings this to a halt. It looks like that will lead us into a first half cooling break here in Bridgetown, Barbados.
Ladies and
Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, hope you've enjoyed it so far. It's been a bright start from Aruba, to say the least. St. Lucia have had a couple of opportunities, but Aruba have been the better of the two sides, and they took full advantage off a corner opportunity. And from that set piece, Walter Bennett got a free header, and he planted it into the back of the net to give Aruba a 1-0 lead. Another look at it here. Wonderful header. There was actually multiple Aruba players who were wide open inside the penalty area, but it's Bennett who gets Aruba's first World Cup qualifying goal of this campaign. And Aruba have a cherished advantage here that they'll be looking to hold on to tight, if not increase, as this first half moves along. Saw earlier on that graphic bottom left-hand corner of your screen that it's 87 degrees, but we've just been told that it feels more like in the upper 90s, 99 degrees is what we were told. So it's quite humid in Barbados today. The wind is helping, I'm sure, a little bit, but obviously we are in that threshold where a cooling break is very much necessary for the players. And of course, for our great officiating crew, we're taking a few swigs as well. But it's been Aruba who have landed the first blow. And we see how St. Lucia are going to respond as this first half commences. It's a bit of a reversal for Stern John's group. They led against Haiti on match day 1, then they let that one slip away. They're going to have to do what Haiti did to them in this game if they are going to get those pivotal 3 points to try to keep pace with Curacao and Haiti, who lead Group C with 6 points apiece. It's been Aruba's pressure that's really led to their big moments so far. St. Lucia has not quite been able to find the right key to unlock it yet, at least not consistently. And on cue, Kurt Frederick's pass is picked off. Then it's a poor pass onto this near side by Jonathan Richard. It's picked off. Can St. Lucia break the other way? Here's Alexander. Solomon. It's going to be a refresher possession with 15 minutes left in the half. Duxley up ahead. There's blue shirts to aim at, and Kirk Frederick got a piece of it, but wasn't given enough time to turn and shoot. Foul and a free kick for Aruba. Another look, not the best challenge there from Myers. And it does look like St. Lucia are going to make a change here. Alexander's going to come off. And Lias Henville is going to take his place. An early change for Stern John.
Substitution for St. Lucia, leaving the field of play. Number 20,
we hope that Alexander's okay.
Number 8,
wonder if it's a tactical thing or if Alexander maybe picked up a knock in the first half. Regardless, Stern John and St. Lucia felt they needed to make the change. Here's Nelson for St. Lucia. Passing it across, it's into a sea of Aruba defenders. And Aruba win a free kick, it's a foul. It's the goal scorer doing the defensive duties there, Walter Bennett. He does really, really well for Aruba there. Stahl for Ned. St. Lucia have not been as eager to press at times in this half. They've been letting Aruba try to play through and then kind of work from there. But to be fair, anytime that St. Lucia have tried to play through the Aruba press, it has not gone as well for them. Referee blows his whistle. It's a free kick for St. Lucia on the near side. Certainly in a good position to maybe provide some service inside the penalty area. Ned trying to deal with Nelson and just goes through the back of him. Instead of going into the penalty area, St. Lucia will reset the play in possession. Switched over onto this near side for Solomon. Solomon into the middle, it's headed, but it's a good save by Matthew Letink. Great service in from Joshua Solomon. Matthew Letink was able to read it pretty well. When it was first headed by Elva, it looked like it was going places. Letink was able to get there quickly and made it look pretty comfortable in the end. Kinesia Elva, I should say, is going to be a player that St. Lucia are going to keep trying to find because of his great goal-scoring ability in a multitude of ways. Meanwhile, Melcher. Stahl has Lewis for company. Lloydens. Lewis is forced back. Stahl with a loose touch, and Aruba nearly played themselves into trouble there. Lloydens is able to get past a couple of St. Lucia defenders. And Aruba could be able to create a chance from it. It's into the middle. And in the end, it needed to be a little bit higher of a cross. Kirk Frederick and Terrell Thomas were all over it from a defensive point of view. And St. Lucia will win a free kick at the end of the sequence. Solomon looking for Elva. St. Lucia will get a throw. Elva wants to take it quickly, but is going to leave it in the end for Nelson. And actually, Nelson will get it from Solomon. Nelson. Here's Frederick. Frederick into the middle, and it was just a little bit too tall for the arriving Henville, the substitute. Elias Henville made a really good run. Searching ball from that man, Kirk Frederick. It was just out of his reach. Henville tried to get a boot onto it. You wonder if he tried a diving header, would he have been able to redirect? It still would have been a difficult task, to be fair. Either way, it's nearly, I should say, a big-time opportunity for St. Lucia. I'll give Aruba credit. They've handled the first half extremely well. And St. Lucia have really been limited to just some half chances to this point. Oh, that's going to be nudged along here. Kaimani Ned. Yellow shirts entering the penalty area. Ned to the byline. It's last off of St. Lucia, and it's going to be a corner to the visitors. Another look here. Ned tries to get to the byline for a cross. Stuxley is able to get there first, and does concede the corner in the process. Of course, Aruba scored from their last corner. It's taken from the opposite end. We'll see if Marcelia can find someone else in yellow to increase the Aruba advantage. It's going to be taken short. It's a good chance still to cross this into the middle, but it's really well defended. Lester Joseph comes from behind and gets a critical touch on it. A foul ends the sequence. And some critical defensive work from St. Lucia are able to put an end to that Aruba attack. But Aruba win the ball right back. This is Richard down the line. Marcelia is going to win another corner for Aruba with just over 5 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. Aruba does have a short option from the corner. It's going to be sent into the middle, and it was headed by a St. Lucia defender. Aruba get a chance to recycle. First time hit is blocked. The follow-up is going to be a penalty. Steven Melchor had his first shot blocked. He follows up. He's upended. And Aruba have a penalty in the final minutes of the half. Another look. Melchor follows up and isn't given much space to work with. It's actually Kinesia Elva who concedes the penalty. And Aruba have a chance to go 2-0 up deep at the end of the first half. Well, this is a critical moment, really, for both countries' World Cup qualifying hopes. Looks like it's going to be Esai Marsalia who is going to step up and take this spot kick for Aruba. It's an almighty kick of the ball here upcoming. One that has vital importance for Aruba and could put St. Lucia in a big, big hole. It's a game that both teams really need to have. Aruba could take a giant step forward in the right direction if this goes in. 3 minutes left in the half. Esai Marsalia for Aruba. He scores! And Aruba takes a 2-0 lead in the final minutes of the half. It's a mightily important goal for their World Cup qualifying hopes. And it's a hammer blow to St. Lucia's hopes. A ton of pressure on this penalty. And Marsalia makes it look easy. 2-0 to Aruba. And St. Lucia have it all to do the rest of the way.
Number 20, Isaiah Marcia, in the 43rd minute.
In those moments, you need the big-time players on your team to step up and be counted. And Esai Marsalia, determined to make a difference, hands Aruba a huge goal and a 2-goal cushion. It puts Aruba firmly in third place in the group. But again, there's still a long way to go. And again, needs to be mentioned here, but Aruba may have just taken a giant step to keeping their hopes alive at progressing to the final round of World Cup qualifying. St. Lucia have been in certain situations like this before, and they have been able to recover, especially in the Concacaf Nations League. But 2 goals down, that's a big ask. We'll see if St. Lucia can muster up a comeback. Well, the other part about the 2-goal lead as well is that Aruba thoroughly deserve it. They've been the more likely in this first half. There's no question about that. They do give the ball away here, however. Nelson gets it back for St. Lucia, who still have time to make a dent into this lead before the halftime interval. Solomon will throw it back into the field of play. There is going to be 3 added minutes to play left in the half. So still time for St. Lucia to cut the deficit in half. Here's Kurt Frederick. He bends it in. It's going to be a sidewinding effort. But Lentink is there. I think it was off the boot of Rydell Stanislaus. Again, it looked dangerous off of his boot, but Lentink made it look comfortable. Here's the look. It was a first-time volley. No trouble for the Aruba goalkeeper. The Aruba pressure is really ramping up again, but it's well dealt with by Terrell Thomas, the captain for St. Lucia, plays for Charlton Athletic in England. And St. Lucia are going to play their way through here. That's a really big chance. It's a really big goal. St. Lucia are right back in it in first half stoppage time. I was wondering to see if there was a last touch on it. It was Stanislaus who took on the shot. And just when it looked like St. Lucia were in big, big trouble, they're right back in it. No touch on that. It's Stanislaus' goal. And St. Lucia are back within one. It's 2-1. It's a really good finish from Rydell Stanislaus, who frankly has not made a big impact so far into this game up until that point. But he steps forth when St. Lucia desperately needed a response. (2-1), and there's still about a minute left in the half. St. Lucia will get a free kick in their own half. Solomon. St. Lucia might get a chance here to equalize at the end of the half. And that could totally change the complexion. Frederick out to the far side. There's players to aim at in the penalty area in the final seconds. Frederick into the middle. It's popped it high into the air. Miscommunication on the edge of the penalty area. It's not cleared yet. And now Aruba have possession. It's going to be sent ahead. It takes a big deflection. Referee just took a big look at his watch here. He has the whistle to his lips, I should say. And that is how the half ends in Barbados. Back and forth, that first half went. Aruba were really strong for about 40 minutes of that first half. St. Lucia still had opportunities, there's no question about that. Marsalia's penalty conversion in the 42nd minute put Aruba in a prime position for the points, but it's all changed as Rydell Stanislaus scores in first half stoppage time, and St. Lucia are right back in it at the half in Bridgetown. It's St. Lucia 1, it's Aruba 2. Sean St. Jacques back here with you at the start of the second half. It does look like there's going to be some alterations at the beginning of a very important second half for both teams. Peter Pearson looks like has come on for St. Lucia. And it did also look like that Nickinson Paul has come on for Aruba at the start of the second half. So it looks like a change apiece. And Aruba, who have the lead, get the second half going, kicking off from left to right. Aruba had a 2-0 lead for a very brief period of time. St. Lucia scored in first half stoppage time. And it's a 2-1 game. Still everything on the line.
Joshua Solomon, he's being replaced by number 13, Peter Pearson. Also leaving the field of play for St. Lucia, number 12, Lester Joseph, and he is being replaced by Aaron Richard. Halftime substitution for Aruba, leaving the field of play, number 2, Derek Ludens, and he will be replaced by Nickinson Paul, number 15.
Pushing a chase here, the far side. St. Lucia have a chance here, but it's a foul and a free kick. It'll go the other way. We just confirmed 3 changes took place during the halftime interval. 2 for St. Lucia and 1 for Aruba. Aaron Richard and Peter Pearson came on. Joshua Solomon and Lester Joseph coming off. As that ball, it looks like it rolled out of play. That's going to be a corner for St. Lucia. Aruba made 1 change. Deirdrick Leudens is off, and we mentioned him, Nickinson Paul is on. So 3 alterations in total. And St. Lucia have a corner to try to level this game up. Talked about this earlier. The 3 prior meetings all had a boatload of goals between these two teams. A 3-2 and a couple of 4-2s in this fixture's past. 2 of those in World Cup qualifying. We have 3 so far, and there could be more coming. Frederick into the middle, it's headed centrally, it's still in the mixer, and it's headed by Elva into the waiting arms of Lentink. Now again, in the live table, Aruba would jump up into 3rd. Just 3 points behind the 2nd spot. And of course, the 1st spot, Curaçao in 1st on 6 points with a superior goal difference to Haiti, who also have 6 points and are in 2nd at the moment. Only the top 2 advance, but 3 points to keep pace after everyone's played 2 in Group C is a huge thing to try to latch onto. As Elva trying to get on the end of a cross into the middle. He did get a piece of it, but it is out for a goal kick. Well, certainly St. Lucia feeding off of the momentum they gained from the end of the first half. Stanislaus scored to make it 2-1. And St. Lucia want to complete the turnaround in the second half. Before the ball can be put back into play, there's a player down for Aruba. And it looks like it's Kaimani Ned who needs some attention here. And again, if you're just joining us, Walter Bennett opened the scoring for Aruba in the 22nd minute. Isaiah Marcelia from the penalty spot. Just a couple of minutes before the end of the half, and then in first half injury time, Rydell Stanislaus giving St. Lucia a huge burst, getting it from 2-0 to 2-1, which is a totally different prospect Going into a halftime team talk that I'm sure, from Stern John's point of view for St. Lucia, was all about building off of that late burst of momentum. We'll see if Aruba will have to make another change here. It doesn't look like they will. Looks like Ned is okay. St. Lucia briefly going to be up a man here as Ned looks to get back onto the field of play. Sent ahead by Stahl. St. Lucia look like they have a new lease on life in this second half. They've turned it up a notch. Here's Kurt Frederick. He's going to bend the ball in, and he's going to bend the ball out of play. Just seems like there's a little bit more energy in the pressure that St. Lucia have brought to the table than they had in the first half. And really, it was the Aruba pressure and the repressing that allowed them to create the big chances, as you see the miscued cross from Frederick. That's out of play for a throw. Here's the captain for St. Lucia, Terrell Thomas. Henville with the turn on the near side. He stood up, battles to win it back. It's out of play for a St. Lucia throw. Here's Thomas. He has time and space. Slightly harried as he moved forward. Myers follows up after giving the ball away, and Aruba comes out with it. And then Myers goes through the back and concedes possession via a free kick. You can see frustration written all over his face. The initial pass that he made was cut out. We see players do that all the time. After they give the ball away, they try everything they can to win it back quickly, and sometimes they do too much. It's a wonderful defensive stand there from Frederick. He just about bends it out to the far side. Can St. Lucia build forward? Myers up ahead. Thomas bends it into the path of Stanislas. We know what he's capable of. Myers lets it run. Pearson out wide. It's crossed again, looking for someone in the middle, but there's too much on it, and it's a wasted opportunity on the attempted ball in by Shaquan Nelson. These were crosses that St. Lucia were able to place in really well in the first half, to be fair, especially from Kirk Frederick down this near side. It's actually been the part that's been lacking for St. Lucia in the early stages of the second half. Frederick is fouled. St. Lucia are not going to waste any time. They get on with it. Frederick stays down for now. Could open up here for an opportunity. It's placed in behind. It's a lovely flick. It's Stanislaus! Oh, it was a fizzer across the face of goal, but nobody could get a touch on it for either side. And it's a goal kick. A lovely bit of build-up from St. Lucia on the edge of the penalty area, and Stanislaus, I think, is trying to pass that. And there were two blue shirts who were certainly in the neighborhood, neither of whom could get anything on it. And Aruba, in some ways there, let off the hook. And then a little bit of pushing and shoving there afterwards between Gudhusen and Frederick. Well, St. Lucia have really started to pick things up a bit. That goal at the end of the first half has changed the complexion. But can they complete the comeback? Challenge comes in. Oh, and the referee is going to bring this back. It's a free kick for Aruba after it looked like St. Lucia, at least for a moment, had a chance to break. And the second inspection of that would tell you that contact, at least between the players, was minimal. That was pretty close to being a fair challenge. The referee had a long think over it. Aruba get the free kick, and now Aruba have a player down. It's their goalkeeper, Matthew Lentink. Well, of course, both teams have two backup goalkeepers available in case something like this leads to a need for a change. Jamani Eisden and Jostin Maduro are the two Aruba reserve keepers. Matthew Lentink has really been strong in this game so far. He's made a lot of the awkward moments look very comfortable. Besides the Stanislaus goal, he's really done a nice job. And to be fair, there wasn't much he could do about that Stanislaus strike. Just got a third look at that challenge there. That looked to be a fair one. But again, the referee is seeing that from a different vantage point and does not get the look that we get. So on we go. Looks like Lentink is okay. On the free kick, it was a dangerous header down, but Aruba weren't able to take advantage of it. Here's Stanislaus. Played at center for St. Lucia. And Frederick resets back to Bartlett. Frederick. Henville was a first half substitute. Chance to pin a ball into the penalty area. Oh, it nearly fell for Stanislaus. The referee brings this back for a free kick for St. Lucia. Well, Stanislaus was covered, but I must say he did have an opportunity to shoot there. Referee instead will say that St. Lucia didn't gain enough of an advantage after the foul was committed. It's brought back, and Kurt Frederick will certainly get a chance to find a teammate here. Comes up short, however. Ball is re-entered. Lentink is there because at least one St. Lucia player was in an offside position and could not follow up. Again, just took another peek at the live table. Curacao and Haiti again are 1-2. They both won their first 2 games. They're on 6 points. Aruba are currently in 3rd, and why that's important is because Aruba will get to play Curacao and Haiti again in this group stage. St. Lucia would be in 4th with 0 points, and Barbados would be in last on 0 points through 2 match days in the group. The reason that's so important is because you'd much rather, if you're going to be down by just the 3 points, than behind by 6. It's not mathematically impossible, but it could become a very difficult proposition for whoever loses this game today. Kurt Frederick unleashed a really strong effort. And we know from his Nations League exploits that he can certainly strike them from long distances. I think Lentic knew exactly where this was going to end up. It's really well struck, to be fair, but it is nowhere near the target. Oh, a loose touch. Aruba have to play their way out unless they want to clear it. And the St. Lucia pressure leads to a takeaway. Elva is going to shoot. Oh, great save from Lentink. Pivotal stop from the Aruba goalkeeper. It's out for a corner. And Kenisia Elva just had his best chance of the match so far. Really good strike. Phenomenal save. Now then, Frederick. It's bent back in, it's chested down. It's gonna be laid off. Doxley for Thomas. For Frederick. Frederick sends it in, looking for Elva. It's headed down centrally. Chance for the shot, and it was blocked away. Richard taking aim. But there were so many players ahead of him. He couldn't find any space. And Aruba will get a throw in right around midfield. A really good opportunity there. Kenisia Elva nearly adding on to his tally in these qualifiers. Matthew Lentink, that was by far his toughest save he had to make. And boy, was he ever equal to it. Wonderful stop. Ball's played ahead. Aruba get possession back in their own end. And they're going to think better of it and just send the ball upfield. Bartlett has Frederick for company. Thomas. Can St. Lucia complete the comeback? They were 2-0 down. Got it back to 2-1 just before the end of the half. Kurt Frederick's becoming more and more involved as the match moves along. He continues his run, and Myers has his pass picked off. And did the ball go out on this near side? It did. Brad Gentile maybe could have done a little bit better there for Aruba. He wasn't pressured. St. Lucia have it back. 26 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Can tell you that St. Kitts and Nevis and the Bahamas have kicked off. St. Kitts and Nevis have already scored. 20 minutes in, they have a 1-0 lead. Another big game for both teams there. Ooh, that ball over the top was dangerous, but the offside flag is up. Here come some changes here. Looks like both of them be for Aruba. The goal scorer, Isai Marcelia, is coming out. Benjamin Maria is going to take his place. And then the second alteration is Jaden Kreudenhoff, who's going to come on. Tyrone Perret-Gentile is going to come out. So a double change for Aruba. Both teams now have 2 changes available. With 25 minutes left, and Aruba clinging to a 2-1 lead. Well, this is one of those fixtures where if you go by the FIFA rankings, Aruba could be in line for a pretty big upset here. As this is a loose pass back. Bartlett sends it ahead. The reason I say that is, again, Aruba, according to the FIFA rankings, are ranked 193rd in the world. St. Lucia, 28 spots ahead of them, 165th. However, the history would tell you that it's always tight between these two, and that has come to fruition once again.
Isaiah Marcella, he will be replaced by number 11, Benjamin Maria. Leaving the field of play, number 21, Tyrone Perret.
St. Lucia have been
replaced by number 17, Jaden Kreudenhoff.
Much better in this second half so far, but can they get the reward? Lenting's pass out is going to be picked off. Stanislas up ahead. It's Kanisha Elva. Lenting makes the stop again. It's looped back in. Elva's there. Elva again. It's touched in. It's 2-2. It's the substitute, Peter Pearson, who brings St. Lucia back to parity. And from 2-0 down, St. Lucia have equalized. It's 2-2. Great extra effort by Elva to keep this alive. He battled and battled. He got his foot on it, and Pearson touches it in from the edge of the 6-yard box. Remarkable recovery from St. Lucia. It's 2-2, and now Aruba come up the other end with Kreudenhoff, and he couldn't keep it in play. We talked about how important that first half stoppage time goal was from Stanislas. St. Lucia carried the momentum into the second half. It's 2-2, and now, who knows where we go from here? All 3 results are in play. Oh, this one's gonna trickle through. And in the end, Lenting is there to make the stop. Lias Henville nearly got in behind. And Lenting, I think, maybe needs a moment to reset with just over 20 minutes to go, and looks like that might just lead to our second half cooling break here in Bridgetown in Barbados. Well, we just took another look at the live table. It's changed again. Told you that might happen a few times this afternoon. St. Lucia are back up into 3rd place. Aruba would drop to 4th. They'd both be on 1 point if it holds like this. Wouldn't be the worst result if you support Curacao or Haiti. That would leave those 2 teams with a 5-point cushion when the next time this group reconvenes for the Concacaf World Cup qualifiers. Now, as good as Aruba were in that first half. And again, we are in a cooling break here in the second half because of the high temperatures and high humidity. As good as Aruba were in the first 45, St. Lucia grabbed a bit of hope, a bit of momentum, a bit of a lift, thanks to Reinel Stanislas in first half. Stoppage time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the goal was
And it has
scored for St. Lucia by number 13.
led to the response and the recovery in the second half. Peter Pearson has brought St. Lucia level. And we could be on for a really enthralling finish with 20 minutes left in both teams, not mathematically, but conceivably needing to win this match to keep their big hopes alive of advancing into the final round of Concacaf World Cup qualifying. St. Lucia and Aruba both still have chances at Curacao and Haiti on their schedule in this group. And that's why this one means so much. Again, give credit to St. Lucia from this perspective as well. 2-0 down, close to halftime. It's not looking good. St. Lucia kept on fighting. Stanislas with the spark. Pearson completes the turnaround to get it to 2-2, and now St. Lucia will feel that they could go on and maybe, just maybe, score the winner. That ball's bent down the far side. It just trickled out of play. Free kick for Aruba. Now it's going to be Aruba's turn to really have to dig in. And they'll have to do what St. Lucia have done, and that's pick themselves back up off the floor. Paul quickly gets it back into the field of play. Paul again. Little give and go between Paul and Kreudenhoff. Paul followed up on multiple occasions there, but St. Lucia stop it in its tracks for now. But Paul recovers well here. Nickinson, Paul, and he had a chance to cross that. But again, St. Lucia have the answer. And it's a good step by Lewis to make sure there was no transitional move that would follow. St. Lucia have it with 17 minutes of the 90 to play. Frederick is able to play this one nicely. Down the line for Stanislas. Back for Frederick. Oh, and Thomas is going to be fouled here. Free kick. Frederick takes it immediately. Myers out wide. And a little bit of a slip here. And that's going to lead to a free kick going Aruba's way on the far side. That could have been an opportunity there for St. Lucia, not to be in the end. Ball's played up ahead. It's a good battle between Thomas and Terence Groothuizen, who's certainly been active today. Came close a couple of times to getting on the score sheet, but comfortable saves were made on him from Vino Bartlett. Who's into the near side. Bend it into the middle. Aruba still have possession here. Kreudenhoff. He's going to keep it via a throw. 15 minutes left of the 90. Well, nice run here from Elva. Plays a wonderful ball up ahead. This could be a real chance here. Richard into the middle. Pearson tries a reverse pass. Pearson again. Somehow St. Lucia try to keep it alive. And it'll be Frederick who recycles. Out wide from Myers. It's bent into the middle. There's a chance for Pearson. It's headed out. And Aruba clear their lines. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. There were appeals for a foul from the Aruba contingent. None given. Terrell Thomas has to fix his captain's armband. Myers up ahead. St. Lucia keep possession. Referee doesn't play advantage. On we go. And then the ball into the middle is into no man's land. Now then, can Aruba come the other way? Oh, really good challenge comes in. It'll be out for a throw. Alvin Doxley doing very nicely there from a defensive standpoint for St. Lucia. Dickinson Paul plays it centrally for Kreudenhoff. Paul again. And another give and go attempt is cut out by Stanislas, and Aruba will have to settle for a throw once more on this near side. Again, if there's a winner, that team is going to really be in the mix going forward for those top two spots in Group C of Concacaf Men's World Cup qualifying. A draw wouldn't be the best result for either, frankly. Obviously, mathematically, we're not at that point yet, but as far as catching up to the likes of Haiti and Curacao with games still to play against them for both, a win is nearly essential here. Aruba were 2-0 up going into first half stoppage time, and since then, St. Lucia have clawed it back to 2-2. 12 minutes left to decide it. Myers poking it ahead. It's left for Elva. Stanislas curling it in. It was headed away and out of danger, and then the follow-up is going to see Elva penalized. It's a free kick for Aruba. And that free kick is going to lead to a substitution here for Aruba. That is going to be it for Stephen Melcher. And Rovien Ostiana, he's going to come on and take his spot. That's a takeaway. Thomas up ahead to Elva. Myers for Frederick.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Aruba.
Frederick fights his way through, gets it back off a ricochet. And then one too many challenges again leads to an Aruba free kick to alleviate the St. Lucia pressure. And St. Kitts and Nevis still leading against the Bahamas by a 0-0. Guyana and Belize still to come later on today before Dominican Republic take on the British Virgin Islands. Oh, and Aruba nearly leaked through there. That was a loose touch. And the substitute, Ostiana, nearly got in behind there. But his shot was blocked. Then one more game, by the way, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Puerto Rico. Impressive result for them last time out. They take on Anguilla to finish off the day's action. Henville for Frederick. The ball is bent out to the far side by Myers. And then sent into the middle. Elva chests it down. Stanislas! It's deflected out for a corner despite some handball appeals coming in from the St. Lucia players. Now Stanislas nearly scores again here. Not sure if that hit an arm, but it took a nick on the way through, and it's gonna be a corner. Alvinus Myers to take. Goes to the back post. It's headed only as far as Frederick, who has his header dealt with, and it's cleared away. Oh, a battle for it here as it goes out of play. Referee blows the whistle. Looks like that might have been handled by Nelson. Free kick for Aruba. Here's Lewis. Paul up ahead. Kreudenhoff with two on him. Tries to find space for the cross. He wins a corner here for Aruba. That's going to be the substitute, Ostiana. Aruba haven't had many chances recently. From the corner, St. Lucia get the first header onto it. Ostiana comes back to get it. He's onside. Sends another ball in, and it's going to be caught by Vino Bartlett. Bartlett actually had it dislodged from him. Has to be a little bit more careful with the ball in his hands. He gets it away. Elva tries to head it towards Stanislas, who's beaten to it. But it's not definitively cleared. Picked back up by Myers. And then Myers over the top. He's going to see it roll out for a goal kick with 6.5 minutes to play. Aruba get a free kick after a tussle for it leads to the foul being given. Another look as Aruba tried to get a cheeky little yellow card there. Referee didn't say that it was time to take it yet, but now it is. And St. Lucia get it back for a moment. But Aruba can build towards another opportunity here. It's chopped back, it's played back across! And there were two Aruba players, neither of them could communicate properly enough. And the chance goes by the wayside. A wonderful skill here, it's Maria who chops it back across, and it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another from the two Aruba players inside the penalty area. Neither gave way. St. Lucia come the other way. Elva for Stanislas. Henville, final 5 minutes here. Both teams really need to find a winner. Frederick over the top. And Elva's gonna run out of room. Goal kick for Aruba as both teams are going to continue here to try to push on for some late magic, a late moment to find what could be a priceless goal for both. Whoever gets it. Aruba were 2-0 up. St. Lucia have come back to tie it. But now can someone go on and find some late glory in these World Cup qualifiers? Should mention again, it's worth reiterating, if this holds, the two teams that benefit most from it would be Curacao and Haiti, who would still see their lead be at 5 points over the rest of the group. But a win from one of these two makes it a slim margin. And again, mathematically, these two teams would still be in it, but Curacao and Haiti would have a huge advantage. Ball's going to be headed back and cleared away by Thomas. Good tussle for it in the midfield. Free kick for St. Lucia. And then an unnecessary touch from Ostiana, who is going to be a little lucky here to avoid not getting booked, frankly. Although, to be fair, I don't think the referee's actually booked anyone in the game to this point. Aruba are going to make their final alteration. It's going to be Ashton Charles who's going to enter. And Terence Grudhusen, he's going to leave us. It is an attacking substitution to get some fresh legs up top. As Aruba still feel like they can find a way to win this game, and frankly, almost have to. Here's Frederick for St. Lucia. Plays it into the middle. Stanislas was blocked. Stanislas again. It's saved by Lentink. Well, Matthew Lentink was dealing with a bloody nose earlier. It's been patched up, and he comes up with arguably his most important save. Maybe not his best, but it's certainly up there as far as importance to keep it at 2-2 in the final minutes. Pearson up ahead. Blue shirts arriving in the penalty area. Elva's in the middle. It's touched out for a corner for St. Lucia in the 89th minute. Big defensive intervention from Sandro Stahl. And St. Lucia will get a corner as we get closer and closer to stoppage time. Looks like St. Lucia brought on Baggio Edward, which I believe is their penultimate change. Their number 9 is on for this set piece. As we tick down into the 90th minute, Kurt Frederick to take. And it comes! Oh, it was just past the leaping head of Aaron Richard. And it's a goal kick. As you see there, the confirmation of the Edward swap. Stanislas comes off for St. Lucia. And now, up the other end, Kreidenhoff edge of the penalty area. And it's going to be a shot that's bent in, but the offside flag is up, and the Benjamin Maria, well, goal, if you will, was long since chalked out. St. Lucia's turn up the other end. Into the middle again, Elva surrounded by Aruba defenders. Peter Pearson, who scored the equalizer, refreshes the play. Thomas can't keep it in. It's an Aruba throw as we are into 5 added minutes at the end of this one. Myers gets it right back here for St. Lucia. Elva up ahead, and it's a big-time stop by Lentink. Myers again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official on the side has indicated there will be a minimum.
Thomas. Can St. Lucia fully complete the turnaround and keep their hopes of progressing in very good stature? Thomas to the near side. Edward into the middle. It's over almost everybody's head, but it's salvaged by Nelson. Nelson ran out of room. It's a goal kick. And there's only 4 minutes of stoppage time to play. Great pressure from St. Lucia. They did force a save again out of Matthew Lentink initially, but then could not get another big-time stop, or should say another big-time shot away to force another save. Into the mixer it goes. Foul, and a free kick will go Aruba's way. And a yellow card comes out for that challenge as well. Again, I believe that's the first yellow card of the match for either side. Another look. Lentink cleared the lines. Oh, and it was Doxley. It was penalized. Yellow card for him. Final 3 minutes. That free kick comes up short. And St. Lucia do get a chance here to go the other way. That was a very late challenge. Referee plays advantage. Elva through the middle. And nothing's going to come of it. It's going to be a throw-in on the near side. And the referee does well. Comes back to the challenge that came in from Fernando Lewis, the captain. And he's booked. Frederick for Elva. Elva follows up. It's out of play. Another look. Clearly a yellow card, but good refereeing. Played advantage. And after the end of the sequence, came back and gave out the proper punishment for the challenge. St. Lucia have it back. They have 2 minutes. Both teams have 2 minutes to try and win this World Cup qualifier. It's played across. Pearson lets it run. It's Baggio Edward. Through a sea of legs, it was going wide. Lentink stops it anyway. And sends it upfield, hoping Aruba can create something up the other end, and that maybe helps them out. A push from Thomas. Free kick for Aruba. And they might get a chance to come up with one more moment. Now, we've already had late drama on multiple occasions in these Concacaf World Cup qualifiers. Does this game have a late twist in the tail for us? It's played up ahead. Oh, it's volleyed! And it's over the top by the man who scored the very first goal of the match, Walter Bennett. He nearly bookended things. And St. Lucia, trying to quickly clear it upfield, have given the ball right back to Aruba in the final seconds. Lewis sends it ahead, and Vino Bartlett is there. It's a waste from Aruba. It gives St. Lucia some time to try to win it up the other end. It bounces for Edward. Now Elva for Pearson, who didn't get there in time, and it's cut out. Aruba looked to go up the other end. Advantage is going to be played. Final seconds here. Aruba could get an opportunity to win it here at the last, and it's touched ahead by Charles. It's saved by Bartlett. Now then, we've had the 5 added minutes. St. Lucia, can they get one more chance? It's too close to the goalkeeper, and he's going to let it run out of play. It's a goal kick that won't be taken, and it's full time in Barbados. A frantic finish. Both teams had chances to win it, but it finishes honors even between St. Lucia and Aruba. Give credit to both teams in this one. Aruba were so good from the start. They had a 2-0 lead with 3 minutes left in the first half. But St. Lucia were able to pull it back. Peter Pearson equalizing in the 67th, but the two big winners in the end really are Curacao and Haiti. St. Lucia and Aruba each gain a point, but that means that Curacao and Haiti will have a 5-point cushion in Group C ahead of the rest of the field, and only the top two advance in the end to the final round of World Cup qualifying. It's not done and dusted by any means. Let's be very clear about that. St. Lucia and Aruba will still have their chances in the upcoming group games in the next windows. However, because this finishes in a draw, it gives Curacao and Haiti a big gap to work with as far as who's going to progress onto the final round of Concacaf World Cup qualifying. Again, we still have highlights to bring you before we leave you at the beginning of a 5-game day at these Concacaf World Cup qualifiers. For those wondering, it does look like the Cuba-Cayman Islands game did get postponed to a later date, so we will still have 5 games in total today. St. Kitts and Nevis leading the Bahamas by a 0-0, and 3 more games to follow after that. But before we leave you here in Barbados, we can recap the game for you through full-time highlights. And after it was a bright start initially from St. Lucia, Aruba's pressure really started to dictate the tempo and the way the game was being played in the first half. Groothuizen and company taking aim and getting opportunities away, trying to test Vino Bartlett between the sticks for St. Lucia. However, despite those good tests and good saves, they were not able to score until we get to a set-piece opportunity. From the corner, it's a thumping header from Walter Bennett to give Aruba their first goal of this group stage, and it had them ahead in the 23rd minute. Gave them a 1-0 lead to work with, and they nearly quickly added on to that. Chance at the other end, Marcelia not able to get the chance away. St. Lucia had some chances as well. Elva's header thwarted by Matthew Lentic, who was tremendous, but then Marcelia from the penalty spot converting with just 2 minutes left of normal time in the first half. That gave Aruba a 2-0 lead to work with. That put St. Lucia in some dire straits, but they responded in first half stoppage time. Rydell Stanislaus slipping it through and giving St. Lucia hope at the end of the first half. And it would be 2-1 Aruba going into halftime. And frankly, that goal completely changed the game and changed certainly the team talk going into the second half. A second half where St. Lucia were much, much better and were much the better side as well. They had more and frankly almost all of the second half opportunities. And a great fizzer there from Stanislaus, who was involved. Kurt Frederick really shined as well. He nearly scored from that wonderful ball. And he's sent in from the edge of the penalty area. And then, in the 67th minute, the substitute, Peter Pearson, redirecting the cross from Elva into the back of the net to equalize for St. Lucia with 23 minutes to play. And then this moment, in the final moments, from Aruba, that was a real chance. Stanislas also had a real chance with about 5 minutes to go to give St. Lucia the win. And of course, Aruba had one last really good opportunity that they would let spurn. There was a couple of late yellow cards in this game after there wasn't any really for a big chunk. And then of course, right at the end, a big chance was spurned by Ashton Charles, and that would be that. 2-2 is your final score, and it ends honors even. Curacao and Haiti have a 5-point cushion at the top of Group C. Really fun one here in Barbados, no question about that, and we will say so long. For our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. It finishes St. Lucia 2, Aruba 2. Stick around for more Concacaf World Cup qualifying throughout the rest of your Tuesday.